Today I'm going to begin by reading from Stay with God, the coda at the end of the book, which are the concluding remarks, where Francis talks about art. This has special significance for anybody, any writer, any poet, composer, singer, musician. It has profound significance and implications. It's also good for everybody else, but I think specifically for artists. So before I do that, I wanted just to say a few words about Stay with God. I could elucidate and expound and go on for a long time about Stay with God. It is such a profound book. Meher Baba said, "I feel so proud having written this book through you." He said that to Francis. Whereas God Speaks is the map of creation from evolution through involution, it is the blueprint of the soul's journey. Stay with God, Baba said, is second in importance to God Speaks. Stay with God personalizes the journey. It gives it flesh and blood. It is the perfect companion to God Speaks. It has three wonderful discourses from Baba within it, one at the beginning, one in the middle, one at the very end. I think the last one is titled Dreaming and Dreaming, and it's the perfect conclusion to the book. As I say, Stay with God is profoundly rich. The love song of John Carey, Illusions Singing to Reality, is maybe the most lyrical love poem in modern literature, and I think in ancient literature. The music of that poem is exalted. John Carey is the persona Francis Brabazon, and it's a perfect device that he uses. The love song of John Carey also has a standalone quality. I read it out many, many, many years ago at the meeting place, and one can read this anytime, anywhere. I think it should be read out loud. Anyway, as I said, I could go on and on about God Speaks. About Stay with God. God Speaks too. I've read that 15 times. But here's what's left of the cover of Stay with God. So I'm going to read, as I say, the coda, the concluding remarks at the end of Stay with God, because it deals with art in a way that we don't usually think of. Art is a dreaming between deep sleep and awaking, God dreaming the creation, and dream answering the initial question, who am I? Through evolutionary, involutionary stages to knowledge of I am myself. In us he dreams our daily lives as little dreams within the nothingness of dream, and calls the actions of these dreams and their representation in song and pictures art. God fully conscious, dreaming he is man. The real art of God is his avatar assuming the appearance of a man to wake men from the illusion of appearance. The real art of men is modeling their flesh upon the pattern of his perfect manhood, dreaming his loveliness and truth, in delineating and works the dreamed image of his reality. Art is the dreaming between deep sleep and awakeness, in which God fashioned the universe, lost himself in them dreaming they were real, wore out the successful levels of the dream, and awoke an only real self. And, perfectly awake, returned in man appearance to himself in men still dreaming. Returned as beast, as bird, as fish, as worm, to he and them still dreaming, to light them in their progress to himself, infinitely compassionate that they should stay with him. In the most fruitful shape he had patterned, and most easy course he had set, he having proved all possible shapes and courses, to stay with God, since none except in dream exists but God. Art is the love of God, his avatar towards men, shining self-evident existence in the mist of seemingness, as sun through mist veils, revealing patterned landscape of hills and farms and township where there were none. Awakening in men love, and they in love, cutting their lives and works and design he lays down. As a stone cutter, stone fitly for house, well conceived in dimension by master architect. Stay with God in whatever shape he shapes you, and work your works within the boundaries of that shape. Art is his shape of you singing light through your hands, through your speech, imaging his image. Stay with God. Let the dream out the stain and the going of your form or million forms. They are not you who ever stays with God. Art is the act of God, the action of his likeness in our hearts, so that we wake from sleeping and begin to dream of thousands of brightnesses and lovely form, and our faces grow pale and our bodies thin with love. And we wake from dreaming and behold his lovely face, and sleep within his breast, and know his thought. And all the world is lost, well lost. And we wake again and know that he and I are one, were one, and always shall be. Stay with God. Put down your pen and cease your songs. Works are for men of love. Not yet has he unsealed his lovely lips and spoken that word by which devotion will again be possible. Still is his sun hidden behind a curtain of the dawn. Still is his lion caged from rampancy and glory. It is for another generation, Baba, to tell your delightful story. In grief, in joy, in deepest grief. So have I writ what love told me to write, and every line betrays my poverty of love. As a poor man asked his charity, displays a single shilling to our sight. Yet I'm somewhat contented of my plight, in that rich love stooped down to ask of me, thus honoring me, in whom no others see worth, myself the least. Thus does love with light and gentle grace encourage on his way the least of us, taking each by the hand he's labored with, using the same labor to raise him to still greater favor, even perhaps to love's own path, to stand in light when silence speaks its shining day. And today I'm going to read 12 poems, all from the last month. This first one was the 18th of May. Your love never fades. The fall flowers in the field finally fading, the evening light going from magenta to mauve to gray, the old man stooped and bent at day's end, the way of the world, the voyage of time. Your love never fades. It rises with me in the morning light. I breathe it in as I do the gift of air. I take nothing for granted. I thank you every moment. I wear your love like a garment, a coat. I can go nowhere without it. It is also my sustenance, my life's blood. Surely happiness follows in my footsteps. There is no world if not for your love. Without you, creation is empty, devoid of substance. I cannot fathom life without love. The divine orchestra must play on and on. He has prepared this gift for every soul. It is your birthright, your inheritance. Throw open a door to your heart. Keep his love aglow, radiant, ever shining. The eternity of everything. So be it, let it all pass, let it all go, the many wanderings, the continuous comings and goings. Time past is all it was, all it ever will be. The here and there, the limitless dream of travel, the clock's hands seamlessly turning, pointing to a future that never comes. The endless promise of tomorrow, never stopping, relentless, pitiless, hopelessly revealing the fixity of time. Bits and pieces of nothing into nothing. Time stops when I am with you. I've got everything when I've got your love. What is essential remains in the heart. All else recedes, dissolves, then disappears. The lover steps outside of time. He is boundless and bindless. All depends upon the whim of his beloved. The eternity of everything manifesting within his ineffable expression. Journey. The stream gained momentum, hastening and hurrying, along slick, smooth stones strewn from apocalyptic ancient upheavals, water propelled, then darting over their mossy cover. When the spray splash hit the broken rocks, there was a babble, a talking back. Somehow I always turned around, looking for the source of such prattle. I never saw these spirits these elementals, only heard their mocking, beckoning voices. Distant cousins, I suppose, of Scylla and Charybdis. I gave them no mind as I went on my way. The land the water traveled suddenly broke off. A rainbow appeared through the mist of waterfall. The sound deafening, humbling, uplifting, drowning out, absorbing the noise of the world. My footsteps ceased. I only stopped for God. The signature of love. The beloved lit a candle for one and all. The light is a beacon attracting his lovers. They bask in the warmth of that glow. The radiance sustains and nourishes them. Some get lost in the brightness, the luminosity blinding them, the candle glowing and gleaming, the brilliance and intensity overwhelming. A rare one goes into the light, seeking the heat of the flame, not content with flicker and flare, looking for the source of incandescence. The beloved watches for the moth among men, knowing the wings of desire will carry the lover to the wick of flame, where nothing is left but the signature of love. I see your face. In every ecstatic cloud, silhouetted against the serene stage of the bluer than blue sky, the butterfly floating, fluttering, dancing. Where will the wings of love take us? The bumblebee humming and buzzing, the soft sound of the seeker seeking nectar, the bird song breaking the uniformity of day, the memory of such sweetness in the dead of night, the infant crying for its caring, consoling mother, the lover lovesick, silently sobbing. In each moment moving us along, in every ominous reaction to the whims of this world, I see your face, I hear your voice. You shake the world. You shake the world. Foundations crumble, edifices topple. You shake the world, the planet quakes, all heads bobble. You shake the world, rotten fruit falls from the trees. You shake the world, the humbled fall to their knees. You shake the world, stability is a figment of the mind. You shake the world, illusion trembles, then left behind. You shake the world, the umbrella keeps spinning. You shake the world, only love and lover winning. You shake the world, your duty is to reclaim and proclaim. You shake the world, it only exists due to your glorious name. Now this next one is more of a prayer, and Actually, the last one I'll read today is a companion piece to this, another prayer. This one is, help me remember you. Help me in each waking, every expanding moment, in every horrible, startling, fitful nightmare, in the continuous beat of the helpless, happy heart, in the battle with despair, despondency, and depression, in the war with the devil of the darkest deep, in the shining light of the never-ending day, in the exalted exhalation of numberless breaths, in the contraction of waiting and still yet waiting, in suffering, sickness, injury, and ill health, in the cries and laughs of a loving lifetime, in the impossible made more than humanly possible, in the food I thankfully put in my mouth, in the multitudinous, mellifluous sounds that enter my ear, in the walking of this glorious and radiantly beautiful path, in the joy of hearing and repeating your sacred name. Help me, beloved one. Always help me remember you. This next one, I was thinking about one of the 101 names of God, transmuter of air into fire. And somehow this got incorporated into this poem. The poem is The Burning Heart. So be it, call it forth, bring it down, transmuter of air into fire, the wound ever growing, opening, cleansing, then cauterizing, the appetite for fire burgeoning, fire consuming all in its way, healing the long-suffering, ever-festering septic ooze, as if the body was not its own. Fight fire with fire, the air combustible, no dross remaining. In fact, nothing left, all burned in the fire beyond fire. Give me the burning heart. I heard him say this as I held it in my hands, offering everything to him before I woke from this dream. The world. The world is a joke poorly told. It repeats itself again and again, the narrator making it up as he goes along, the listener never sure what's really said. The world is a third-rate comedian, punchline and delivery out of sync, laughs in all the wrong places, the feeling we've heard it all heretofore. The world is a foregone conclusion. Nobody knows anything, but everybody knows everything. Jokesters as far as the eye can see. The world is the epitome of deja vu. You already know what I'm talking about because you've seen it all before, like reruns on television, yet so much more. The world is a stage waiting his return. Most do not know what to expect. The one among the many, however, experiences boundless hope and joy. The beloved is fire. The lover hungers for the light. He has no appetite for anything else. His dreams are of dazzling radiance. The beloved is his lamp. The lover yearns for warmth. The world cannot provide what he seeks. His dreams are of conflagration. The beloved is fire. The lover longs for love. He is desperate beyond reason. His dreams are of the familiar face. The beloved is his moon and sun. The lover says the name that is his sole purpose for living. He repeats all day and all night. The beloved is his constant companion. The lover has forgotten everything. His remembrance is all-encompassing. Every dream has a beginning and end, all absorbed in the beloved's embrace. Saving grace. Last night, before sleep mercifully closed my eyes, I was visited by the sins of a lifetime. One by one, the parade passed by. I had forgotten most, remembered few, but there they were calling out to me. You gave us life. You made us what we are. Words, thoughts, deeds poorly chosen, painful, hurtful, shameful, the debris of a lifespan. Disturbed and distressed, I sailed into dreamland. A voice so clear and familiar called out to me. I will repeat what I heard before the angel of dawn awoke me. The comings and goings, the here and there, the now and then, nothing matters but love. I am your saving grace. I am your sunny day and darkest night. I am your everything. Now, I should say that after I wrote this and sent it out, it's never official, as I've said before, until Anita types them up. And once she does, then they're ready to go out. I sent them to about 20 people. And a couple hours after I sent it out, I got back from one friend. He said, last night, before I went to sleep, I was struggling. I was wondering if I was really saved. And then he said when he saw the title, just the title to my poem, that was his answer from Baba. So thank you, Baba, because I sometimes wonder, why am I writing these things? And who's listening? Okay, the last one, as I said, is the companion piece to that other one called Help Me Remember You. And it's titled, I Remember You. I remember you in the first blush of the pastel-colored dawn, in each sip of life-giving water, in every bite of nourishing food, in the clouds that forever cheer the sky, in contentment and discouragement, in laughter and the cry of anguish, in every sigh and exhalation, in every vitamin and medication, in every medical procedure and doctor consultation, in the noonday sun as I sit and gaze, in the chairs I sit and rest upon, in the shows and movies that help me pass time, in the words that speak only of you, in the storms on the distant horizon, in the clothes that I put on to greet the day, in every bodily function, in the drone of insects in the air, in the sounds of children typifying happiness, in the sad and solemn moments, in each failure, in every success, in the repetition and glorification of your name. I remember you, and you remember me. J. Bob.